Well, listen, we're about 1 minute away from starting. I'm going to ask Erica to, I don't know, maybe text me, let me know that you're ready to go on Facebook. That would be fantastic. And we're going to get started right away here. I think we're good on Facebook. It's going to pop up here in just a moment. And again, if you just joined us, tell us where you're from. We want to be able to greet you, to welcome you. This is going to be a great training today. You are going to learn so much, and I literally cannot wait. So I think we're ready to go on Facebook. Absolutely. So we're about 30 seconds from starting. We have a wonderful PowerPoint show for you as well. We're going to take some Q&A at the end, and we're going to rock and roll. So Dr. Pat, I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to take care of the first few slides, and then you're going to take care of the next few slides. And we're going to have a blast today. Awesome. So folks, I'm sharing my screen. If you guys can see my screen, type in hey. Type in hey if you can see the screen before we get started, and then we will rock and roll. Awesome. A lot of people can. We got London, we got Hong Kong. Okay, folks, I'm officially starting. Hey, everybody, this is Kary Oberbrunner with Dr. Pat. It is fantastic to be seeing you today. I'm thrilled. And folks, let me tell you what. Why am I thrilled? Because I've been on my own journey for such a long time, and I didn't even know it. I didn't know it until a few months ago that I was basically a food addict. And Dr. Pat, you heard me say this the other day, and we had somebody write in and say, "You're thin. How dare you say you're a food addict," and all this stuff. And I wrote back to the gentleman very nicely, but I said, because I did research, 2/3 of all food addicts are thin.
That's right.
Isn't that crazy? So it's not that, oh, you know, I wanted to stop feeling powerless. And that's what I'm going to talk. Everybody came here for a different reason today. You came here probably for a logical reason, and you came here for an emotional reason. I'm going to be very transparent. I've not been this transparent on any webinar in 5 years. Why? Just because I feel like this is all raw. This is fresh. This is new. This is like 60 days ago. So I'm gonna be pretty vulnerable with you guys today, and just let you know. But I really believe that the reason why we're here today is that your quality of life and confidence will dramatically increase when you get your body's 7 systems working for you and not against you. And Dr. Pat's going to share that with you. My name is Kary Oberbrunner, and I get to ignite souls. And I've always been about writing and speaking and coaching and leadership. I've never talked about health. Never. I've never done a training on health before. And you might say, why not, Kary? I'll tell you why not, because I didn't feel like I needed to. And Dr. Pat, I was thinking about this today. I was a pastor. Do you know that I've never preached a sermon on health in my life? Listen, they teach you in seminary, you don't touch that one. Okay? You don't touch health, and yet God made us, and why aren't we talking about health? Can anybody say amen? Do you guys agree with me? When's the last time you heard anybody talk about health? It's kind of like the taboo topic, and I know that because of all the unsubscribes we got from our email. We got over 300 unsubscribes, and then we got another 150 unsubscribes. So over 500 people unsubscribed just because I talked about health. Other people rushed in and said, thank you for doing this. It's about time. You know, this is such an answer to prayer and all this stuff. But here's what I want to do, Pat. I just want to frame this before you get into the content today. I want to frame this, and I want to show people the email that I sent out, because I really think that unless people know the context of my own story, they might not understand why we're here today. And they might kind of think like, why is he talking about this? But here's my literal email inbox. And I just want to take you through a quick journey that I've had. And then I'm going to let Dr. Pat take it away. So this is me in 2011. And I was much different. In fact, in this picture, I was 40. No, I was, let me think here exactly. I was 35 pounds heavier. So in this picture, I was 35 pounds heavier in 2011. And listen, I love exercise. So here's me with my buddies. Here's the head coach of OSU, Ohio State University, national championships in wrestling. I work out with these guys. Most of them are in their 50s and 60s. He's the only one who's not. And I'll tell you what, Pat, I tore my shoulder. So I tore my shoulder. They had to do labrum and rotator cuff surgery. And I'm a light sleeper anyway. And when they told me I had to lay in bed without moving, it was over. I couldn't sleep. And so they said, sleep in a chair. Yeah, right. It's not happening. I was not happy there. Okay. But the point is this, I lost a lot of sleep. And what happened is when I was sleeping, trying to sleep, I couldn't. So I said, I'm just going to get up and work. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an author. I said, I'm just going to work. And so I would get up to work. And just like I said in my email, man, I would eat a ton because I'm like, hey, I'm up. I got to eat mangoes and smoothies and granola and cheese and dark chocolate almonds and jerky and popcorn. Man, I just started eating. And what happened was I didn't realize it, but and the kombuchas, those have a lot of sugar in, man. And I was saying all this stuff's healthy. It's not burgers and chips and pizza. But what happened was I didn't realize it, but I was literally adjusting what do you think? My chemicals, Dr. Pat?
Your hormones.
My hormones. There you go. See, he's the professional today. But what happened was my hormones began to change, and he'll tell you more about that. But it created this dependency where I started to say every 2 or 3 hours I needed to eat. And then, I'm really allergic to poison ivy. And so probably within this period, I also got poison ivy a few times. So I got on steroids. Man, I just started eating a lot all the time. And here's my buddies biking. And I started to get dropped all the time. Like I was always the slow guy. And I'm the youngest, but I was always the slow guy. And I didn't realize all this. My doctor put me on trazodone because he said, you can't sleep. You need this. I tried NyQuil. I tried Tylenol PM. I tried all this stuff. And what happened, Dr. Pat, is it started to show. And you told me it was belly fat. And what's wrong with belly fat?
It's the worst of all fats because that fat is also inside your major organs when it's there.
Okay. And I didn't know that. So what I started to do is I said, you know what? I mean, this was totally independent, but on June 30th, 2019, while sitting in church, I said, you know what? I've seen some of my clients asking for prayer, Teresa and her sister Kary, and she had cancer and she has cancer. And I just felt like I was supposed to pray for them on June 30th, right? Because I saw these pictures of them going through, there's their awesome husbands, but they were going through a lot of horrible stuff and, just tragic. So I texted Teresa after Facebook message and I said, I'm in church today. I want to pray and fast for you tomorrow. And Kary, I'm not going to eat for 24 hours and I'm going to pray for you guys. I'm asking God to give you a miracle. Little did I know, besides healing them, and they're still in their journey, some of them, God hit me upside the head with my own struggle. And, Teresa said, thank you so much. I'm so humbled that you're going to do that and that type of thing. But I'll tell you what, Pat, I started to try to fast and I couldn't do it. And that had never happened before. Like I had gone through fasting as a wrestler. I had gone through fasting in 2011 and 12 when I left my day job and became an entrepreneur. I went 4 hours and then I went 7 hours. Man, I was hurting. What was happening to my hormones when that was happening, Pat?
Well, your body forgot how to burn fat because you have food coming in all the time.
Dang. See, I love that he's on here because I'm just sharing my story and he's telling what's happening. So my body forgot how to burn fat.
That's right.
Because I just kept, anytime I felt, I wasn't even hungry. And Edwin's asking a question. We're going to get to questions at the end here. But what I did, Pat, is I picked up your book and you got it right behind you, the 7 Systems Plan. And of course, I'm your publisher. And by the way, folks, I get zero of Pat's royalties. So I just want you to know our publishing model, I get zero. So this is not me trying to sell books, okay? I picked up his book and I just started reading and I'm like, this makes sense. This makes sense. And then I read a little bit about fasting that you talk about and food addiction. And Pat, I said, I got to do these 10 things. I said, I got to break my addiction to food. I need to feel in control again. How many of you can relate? Go ahead, type in relate if you can relate. I hate water. Guess what? I got water today. I got water. I put lemon in there. Is that okay? I put lemon juice because it makes me feel interesting. I don't know. I just hate water. But I put water with lemon in. I said I gotta start eating when I'm just hungry. I gotta lose my love handles. Now listen, Pat, all my pictures, I had my shirt on because I didn't want anybody to, get mad or get scared or anything like that. But I'll tell you what, man, I lost the love handles. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But I knew I needed to get a strong core. I needed to stop craving sugar. Here's another thing I wanted to do. I wanted to keep up with the guys on the bike because I was getting dropped and I got sick of riding home alone. And I wanted to fast for other people. And I wanted to stop eating after dinner and not eat again to the next morning, maybe sometimes the next day at lunch. And I knew this was going to be so hard. So I texted you and you told me, you're right. You said, listen, man, you got belly fat and it's lethal. And I did my own research and I realized it's more deadly than obesity. What's up with that, Dr. Pat? Because it's around the organs, you say?
That's right. When it's in the belly, it's also packed inside those organs. So the liver, your heart, your intestinal tract, your pancreas all have difficulty functioning.
Okay. And I mean, he's right. And folks, this is not made up. So even though people say, oh, you're thin, Kary, what they didn't realize is under my shirt, man, I was starting to get whatever you call it, that spare tire, pretty big. So I did it, Pat. I started following your plan. This is starting June 30th is the day I texted Teresa. I started July 1. I dropped 5 pounds, then another 5. And I didn't just starve myself. In fact, I didn't starve myself at all. I went to Jenny's Ice Cream 3 different times. Who likes Jenny's Ice Cream if you're here from Columbus? So I still ate things that I liked. My parents were visiting. I didn't want to not eat anything, but I was able to eat, and I was able to eat until I was full. But in the end, Dr. Pat, I'll show pictures at the end of our thing today, but here's the 10 things I learned. I reset my metabolism. I broke the cycle of endless cravings. Let's face it, Dr. Pat, I was never full. And like I could eat and I could eat and I could eat and I was still hungry. Now I have so much more confidence. That's really what I wanted. I wanted to stop feeling so weak where I couldn't just say no. I drank water with lemon juice. I eat only when I'm hungry. I stop eating before I feel like full. Why is this, Dr. Pat? I'm wondering about this. How come when I stop eating before I get full, 15 minutes later, I feel full?
Well, it takes that long for the signals from your stomach to get to your brain.
Interesting.
Most people go until they feel the stomach, their signals coming, and then they have overpacked their stomach.
Interesting. So I stop before I feel full, and then 20 minutes later, I feel full. And then I lost my love handles. I got a new strong core. I don't have back pain. I consume sugar, but not as much. Now I'm leading the pack. Now I'm not the fastest one, but I'm leading more than I ever have before. I'm praying for more people and I'm making it. And here's what happened, Pat. I lost 25 pounds.
Excellent.
I researched this. I went to the grocery store and my son's taking this picture. That was heavy, man. Holding those 24 pounds, and I lost 25, but I can't believe that I biked. I tried cycling 60, 70, 80 miles, carrying 3 gallons of milk in weight. No wonder why. And I was texting you this whole time saying, check out check out my speed. I'll tell you why we're here today. Because during this period, I went to Michigan and I walked out of this car and I saw this car shaking. And I was like, what's going on? And I looked and there was this guy. This is not him. I didn't pull out my phone, but there was this guy who looked like this. And when he finally got out of that car, I mean, he was stumbling and he was huffing and he was puffing. And I just said, oh my gosh, like this guy can't even get out of a car. I got to talk about this. I got to help people. And I knew some people would not be happy because, again, I grew up as a pastor where you don't preach on this, you don't talk about this. I don't care what people look like. If people are happy with where they're at, that's fine with me. But I'm here for the people today who are here live and the people who are going to watch the recording. So Dr. Pat, I'm going to hand you the show and I'm taking notes. I'm going to also respond to the people that have questions. And I want you to take over, my friend. So you can, I think you can take over the screen here. I'm gonna make you the presenter. There you go, you did it. And I'll manage the chat. I'll talk with everybody.
All right, for those of you who weren't on before the show started, this is my office. It's in South Sioux City, Nebraska. We have a multidiscipline office, so that means we've got 3 medical professionals, 4 chiropractors, 3 physical therapists, massage therapists, acupuncturists, and we have a very exciting lifestyle medicine program, and that's what we're going to talk about today. I have 3 passions in life. Here's one of them. It's my family. We had 4 children, adopted 4, and have 11 grandchildren now. So God and family are my driving passions. Right behind that is helping people have amazing health. I just love creating another story. In fact, if I have an addiction, Kary, that is one of my strongest ones. I want to have people transform their health. And that's why we developed the online course, so we could help even more people. This is Cindy. She went through the 7 systems plan. Now, she didn't have any major diseases, but she couldn't get down on the floor to play with her grandchildren. She could, but she couldn't get back up. You think she can get back up now? She is fit, and it's not just about weight loss. It's about fixing each of your systems, as you'll learn. This is Mike, diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure prescriptions. 90 days later, all prescriptions, all problems are gone. Diabetes gone. Your diabetes can be gone in weeks. Jessie, she's never been to my office. She did the online course that we'll talk about at the end. High school senior on the left, a freshman in college on the right, 1 year, 105 pounds, fixed her 7 systems.
And Dr. Pat, let me say one thing super quick. Folks, a lot of teaching I do, I tell people right out of the front, right out of the gate, we're not selling anything. So when I do a lot of my author trainings, you can't even buy anything at the end. Today, what Dr. Pat is sharing, take notes. You guys are going to love this teaching. I'm learning a ton. I'm still learning more, but let me say this. We are going to offer his course at the end because, again, I'm 100% authentic, ethical. I want you guys to realize, like, you're going to learn super much. And for those who want to join me on a 60-day journey and Dr. Pat, we're going to talk about that at the end. So I just want to be transparent. I want everybody to know what's going on and keep going. We're going to give everyone a free gift too for being here live. So go ahead, Dr. Pat.
Yeah, just being here, you're going to learn a lot about your body and your system. So this just sitting here for the next 30 minutes is going to be very helpful for everyone. The truth is, most people lose their health by age 50. And the last third of your life, you have poor health, disability, medications, diseases, and I see it every single day in my office. So if you look at Health in America, I'm just going to give you some facts real quick, and these facts relate to the systems of your body that we'll be talking about. 76% of Americans are overweight, 60 million have digestive disease, every 42 seconds someone dies of a heart attack. Low energy is epidemic. Everybody's got low energy. 90% of all adults over age 50 have problems with their hormones, nerves, and neurotransmitters. We'll talk about that. 24 million Americans have autoimmune disease, and 100% of Americans now have toxins in your body. I'll show you the studies. It's a problem. So we turn to health and weight loss books and plans. And having written one, I know there are over 800,000 of these out there. So my problems with most of these plans are they don't work long term. And you people watching have tried some of them, and they may work short term or they may not work at all, but long term they don't, most of them. They're too expensive. Some plans cost thousands of dollars. And here's a biggie. They don't fix the real cause of your health problems. And you're going to learn about what the real cause is today. You look at almost every diet category, they work by creating a calorie deficit. So I'm a big study guy. You go through my book or my course, you're going to see lots of studies because that's what I want to see before I promote anything. So here's eat less and even exercise more. Insignificant results. So clearly they're missing something. And what they're missing is the calorie theory is based on physics, not hormones. Hormones. They drive everything. And you'll learn a lot about hormones today. So I'm always interested in what people are promoting to get rid of fat. There's always something popping up out there. And I hope I make you smile with this one. Do not try this. There's a better way that works though. And that is the 7 systems plan, fixing and optimizing each of the 7 systems in your body. So here's how I think of it. Your body has 7 significant main systems. Now you've heard of some of these systems. We're going to run through them real quickly. Some of them you may not have heard of, but understanding what they are and how they work can tremendously improve your health. And here's what happens if all 7 systems are working correctly. You got a perfectly tuned machine. Now just imagine if one of those systems malfunctions, it can negatively impact every other system. So you have to have a plan that addresses all 7. If we look at the cause of weight loss, most people would say wrong food and too much. And you're right, partially. The real answer for weight gain can be every one of your 7 systems can be involved. So you have to address all of them rather than just one. About low energy, the same thing. I could go through every health problem. All the systems can negatively impact a specific part of your health. So the problem is understanding and fixing systems until now has been like this. Extremely complicated and very expensive. So my discovery was a simple way to evaluate your systems, identify malfunction, and then optimize those systems using simple, proven steps. And here's what happens. We help you live longer, no doubt about that, but we also improve your quality of life, like we did with Steve. 65 pounds off in 6 months. And here's what he said to me, Dr. Pat, I feel 30 years younger. Mm-hmm. Terry and Anita, you think they're going to enjoy their retirement more now? Doug and Pauline. One of my most severe patients ever was Sheila. She had diabetes, high cholesterol, obesity, and hypertension, and she actually made the journey to my office. I evaluated her systems. I identified malfunction, and her numbers were so bad, I predicted a crisis. I said, Sheila, something bad is going to happen if you don't fix your systems. Now, this was a few years ago before my book was out and my course was out, and she lived 4 hours away. So she couldn't come in to get the help she needed. And sure enough, she ends up in a coma in the hospital for weeks. Now, God spared her life there. The doctors said to the family, say goodbye, but she lived. But when she came out of the hospital, she has twice the problems, twice the medications, and is in some severe pain. She's got problems with each of her 7 systems, and that's kind of rare. But following the course that she did online and reading my book, This is what happened to Sheila. Insulin-dependent diabetes gone. Kidney function returns to normal. Acid reflux gone. Energy up. Obesity gone. And she became her youthful self again. So we'll quickly run through these 7 systems, starting with your structural system. It is the most important system you have, made of your bones, your muscle, and your fat. And in America, Kary, which of these do you think we have the most trouble with?
I'm going to say that what we hear about on media is fat, but maybe you're going to surprise me.
No, I think that is our biggest problem in America.
Okay.
Now, we have problems with all 3 of those, but fat is definitely a problem. In fact, here's how much of a problem it is in America. Michelangelo's 17-foot tall carving of David came from Italy to tour museums in the United States. And after 3 years in America, they were not happy when it came back. So Candy came into me years ago, in fact, 14 years ago now, with problems with fat, muscle, and bone. She's 60 years old, going to retire from teaching school. And here's what she said to me. Dr. Pat, I'm not going to be here for my grandkids if I don't do something. Now, that's a very good why. You got to have a why. You want to improve your health. So I taught her that belly fat is a significant problem. You can have a healthy belly. That's a cross section of a belly. There's your liver, your intestines, your muscles. The white is your bone and fat. Perfect healthy belly compared to a dying belly. And most people don't know this, but just having an extra 20 pounds can impair the function of those organs and give you a disease called fatty liver disease. So your fat cells should be happy fat cells. They should behave, not consume your calories and give you energy when you need it. If I don't eat, my fat cells just give me energy. They know how to do that. That's the way it should be. But when you stuff fat cells more and more, they become angry. And angry fat cells, according to Dr. Hyman, who's a well-known author, behave like selfish children. They consume all the calories so you don't have any, and they make life miserable for everyone. Here's what we know about them. They sabotage your health, drain your energy, increase bad hormones, make you hungry and tired, and make you gain more and more weight. It's a vicious cycle. So we got to get rid of them. And I've got a 3-step process for getting rid of them. We lower insulin. Now I'm going to come back to insulin a little bit, but it is a huge, huge factor. We change when you eat. And Kary, you've learned that meal timing and meal frequency are extremely important. And then we have to change what you're eating as well. Mm-hmm. So I give my patients this shopping list. Here's the food groups I want you to eat from. Pick from them and avoid the things at the bottom. So doing those 3 things, which can be very tasty. Here's meals that my people that are on the plan send in to me that are extremely healthy and very good for you and hit the food groups that we're talking about. They also, if you're going through my course, you get access to my wife's wonderful 10-minute meals. So she'll show you, get these things out of the pantry, and in 10 minutes, you have a very tasty, healthy meal that covers a lot of the things that you should be getting. Eating out's a factor. If you want to be healthy, you have to limit this. You can't eat out all the time, but we teach you how to make good food choices when you do. So here's what happens to those angry fat cells. We turn them into happy fat cells. And Candy had this transformation. Now, again, it's not just about weight loss. Her diabetes was gone. Her cholesterol medication's gone. Her blood pressure medication's gone. And she was fit. Her energy was sky high. 13 years later, at age 73, this is what she looks like. She's there with one of those grandkids that she wanted to be around for.
Wow.
Kevin, 100 pounds. Now, here's a cool thing. This week, Kevin hit 170 pounds.
What?
He is ready to graduate. I got to get his final picture. Mike, morbid obesity, 105 pounds gone. Brandy, she didn't have that much to lose, but this is 5 years later. She looks younger, feels younger. Now, in the full course that we'll talk about at the end, I go through the perfect eating plan. I give you tricks for fast weight loss. And Kary, I like the way you did it. I like to get the weight off, get to your goal, and then just work on the maintenance phase, which is a lot funner. We talk about fasting mimic diets, and these are powerful ways where you can eat food and make your brain think that there's not food coming in, so really good things happen to you. And we talk about fasting. And a huge part is food addiction and breaking it. And that's one of the things that people can get access to in the course, but it's free for everyone that tuned in today. It will show you how much of an addict you may be and what you should do about your food addiction. So the structural system is the most important system. Digestive is right behind it. It runs from your mouth clear down to your colon, and you can have problems with any one of these that will sabotage your health. I'm going to just talk about a small part of this system with Lucinda's story. Now, she comes in because she's got out of control type 1 diabetes. She's been to all kinds of specialists. They cannot control it. But if you look at the lower half of her list, she has all these digestive system problems. And when I see that, I want to fix the digestive system first. If I ask you, what is the most important for your weight, would it be your gut or your brain? Now, most people would say, well, your brain, it controls everything. But we know they're connected by this nerve. These two communicate constantly. There's signals going up and down. And we know now that 10% of the signals go this way, 90% of the signals go this way. So your gut significantly controls your brain.
Quick question, Dr. Pat.
Yes.
I know you're on a roll and we're going to get to everybody's questions at the end, but one lady just typed in that there's this myth around, and I saw it on Facebook the other day too, but it's, hey, if you skip meals, you confuse your brain and it stores fat. What do you think about that thing?
All right. What is the most important meal of the day, according to conventional wisdom?
I grew up in the 90s and 80s, and they said breakfast.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, you'd be much healthier if you skipped breakfast. If we can restrict the hours you eat in a day, then your body is fasting for those other hours and cleaning up and repairing and rejuvenating and everything else. So I get into that in detail in the book and in the course, but there's a lot that people need to know about not only what to eat, but when to eat, to have some powerful things happen to your body.
And that was it for me, man, because I work out a lot in the morning, and I always thought, well, I can't work out on an empty stomach. And I'll tell you what, I stopped eating at dinner when I really wanted to lose the weight in the beginning. Now I don't do this anymore, but I wouldn't eat till lunch. And I would have better workouts. I felt like my energy was focused more on the workout rather than the digestion. Is that true?
Yes, you should work out on an empty stomach.
Interesting.
Your body will get much more out of it. Now, that's not for people that are doing a marathon, but for regular exercise, you get a lot more out of it. And we go into that in detail in the energy system discussions. Yes. So they did some research to figure out what in the gut is sending all those signals to the brain to control the brain. And they found out it was your gut microbiome, your gut bacteria. And you guys have probably been hearing a lot in the last few years about the importance of these bacteria. We know to a significant degree, they determine what you eat, when you eat, and how much you eat. Here's a problem. You can have good bacteria in your gut that do all kinds of good things, including turning off hunger and signaling you to eat healthy food. Or you can have bad bacteria in your gut that do just the opposite. They make you hungry and they signal your brain to crave and eat junk food. We have unfortunately killed off these good bacteria by taking antibiotics, and recent studies show that those antibiotics have wiped out your good microbiome for 2 years. That does some tremendous harm to your health. So avoid these if at all possible, but if you do have to kill them off with antibiotics, you got to get them back. It's not just antibiotics. Look at this list. Pain pills, blood pressure meds, acid blocking meds, all kill the good bacteria. Duke University had a tremendous study showing that 1 packet of Splenda, quite a few of our listeners have probably used one of those, where you just destroyed half your gut bacteria. Wow. If you drink Diet Pop, you have no good gut bacteria. And when you have no good gut bacteria, guess what takes over? The bad ones. So you can get the good bacteria back in a number of ways. One way is with a fecal transplant. Not the most fun way, but they still do that in hospitals if you have a serious intestinal infection. And let me show you how powerful this is. They took a couple of mice, and one of them, they didn't get any good bacteria, and the other one got good bacteria. And they were just going to check to see what it did to their weight. And this is going to blow you away. It's a tremendous factor in your weight. You have got to have your good bacteria down there working for you. We know in humans, the same thing can happen. We had a marathon runner, a world-class marathon runner, get a fecal transplant because of a serious intestinal infection, and it cured the infection, but she gained 30 pounds because the donor was overweight.
Wow.
There are other ways to get the bacteria back, and I talk about the different types of bacteria. B420 probiotic is my absolute favorite for people that need to lose weight. There's a study where there's no diet, there's no exercise, no change in anything. Just take this specific probiotic. They were less hungry, so much less. They ate 300 calories less per day, reduced their waist by 1 inch. That's about 8 pounds of belly fat, and improve their gut health. And I'm going to come back to how important gut health is in a few minutes. So what happened to Lucinda? Her and her husband lost 250 pounds. Her insulin requirements went from over 100 units with an extremely high A1C down to 30 units and a very good A1C. Here's Larry. He's on an acid reflux medication for 20 years, 10 other medications. In 6 months, he lost 50 pounds and got off every one of his prescriptions. And I want to tell you, you people that are listening, that should be your goal. Get so you don't need any prescriptions. Now, I don't take people off medications. I get their systems fixed, and then I send them back to the doctor, and they take them off. There's Rhonda, irritable bowel syndrome, just an embarrassing problem. She could not go out with her girlfriends for lunch and without knowing where all the bathrooms were along the way. She'd had this problem for years. In 90 days, it's gone. I had a patient do my online course with ulcerative colitis. This is a serious intestinal disease. In 30 days, it goes into remission, and it has been in remission for 1.5 years now. In the full course, we show you what can go wrong with every part of this system. We show you how to fix each part, and we spend a whole lesson on the gut microbiome. It's so important. So, recapping, you ate the food, you digested the food, and now it has to get delivered to the cells. And that's where this system comes in. Your heart and blood vessels move nutrients through the blood on nutrient transporters. You might have heard of some of these. The problem with this system is if you run the wrong food through your system long enough, you're going to damage those blood vessels. And that's what happened to Roy when he came to see me in 1990. He's got angina. He's taking nitroglycerin. He's got a blocked heart artery. He needs a bypass. He's obese, out of shape, and a poor diet. And he refused the bypass and therefore came to see me. And I taught him what had caused his problems were the things in his diet. Sugar and bad fats are known to damage and scratch the blood vessels, leaving inflamed, injured areas. And then LDL cholesterol can come along and get stuck in those damaged areas. And now we have plaque or a blockage. So we've got to stop the damage and inflammation, and we've got to lower LDL naturally, not with drugs. And also we need to increase our HDL. So HDL acts like a garbage truck. It's the good cholesterol. It comes in and picks the cholesterol up and takes it to the liver to get rid of it. Now in 1990, we didn't know if it was possible to reverse this, but Roy's problems and symptoms all went away. He improved so much. In 9 months, he went elk hunting in Colorado for a week with his grandson. When he got back, his cardiologist said, you have to redo the angiogram. You're going to die. What they found was similar to this. The vessel had opened up. His cardiologist was amazed. Here's a picture of me and Roy 28 years after that happened. Recent studies show that this reversal of disease that we can now see on imaging occurs within 3 weeks. Now, the bigger blood vessels take months, but it can be reversed to a significant degree. There's Rhonda from Texas who did this online course, cholesterol 290, fatty liver disease, and all problems gone in 6 months. Danny, high blood pressure and medication for years, no longer. In the full course, we talk about the steps to reverse damage to this system and how to get your systems working for you so you can get off medications. Again, I hope that's a goal for you. Now, you can't always get off everything. I'm not implying that, but I help lots of people get so they don't need medications. And we also talk about vitamins you take. This is a very confusing area. And let me just mention one vitamin as we go on. Vitamin D, and it's linked to cancer. We have an epidemic of cancer. It is a one field of health that we are losing ground on. And to a significant degree, this is a contributing factor. We know that adequate D equals less cancer. 83% less breast cancer if your vitamin D levels are adequate. 55% less colorectal cancer, 67% less cancer in general, but that's provided that your blood levels get up to a safe level. And I think they should be at 70 in your blood. Now, I test my patients in my office and I find them in these single digits, in the teens and the 20s, because we don't get enough sun exposure because of all the problems that we're told come with that. And you can't get enough D from food. So you should be taking this supplement. The fourth system, this is a fun one, your energy system. Everybody wants more energy. And Kary, I'm sure you have more energy now.
Absolutely.
Your energy system is controlled by your mitochondria. You may have heard that word. They are little factories inside every cell in your body that produce 95% of your energy. They are powerful factories. They're 10,000 times more powerful pound for pound than the sun, but they're also kind of fragile. And you can kill these guys off. Remember when you were 30? There's Bo and Luke jumping into their cars. Well, it shouldn't be like this when you're 60. You should still have great energy and be able to do all of those things. One of the reasons we can't is because of our mitochondria. Here's what studies show. By age 50, you may have lost half your mitochondria. In fact, I'd say there's a very good chance that you have. Alice came into my office with low energy, no energy, slept a lot, ate prescriptions. She just wanted to feel good again. So I taught her about this system. Her problems were caused by mitochondrial depletion, poor diet, lack of key nutrients, late night eating. Kary, you can relate to that one. We
My
now know
midnight feast.
they kill your mitochondria. When you've got that food sitting in your mitochondria, waiting to be turned into energy, but you don't need it, it can kill your mitochondria. So the key for Alice was to correct her diet and add a few key nutrients that the mitochondria need to really ramp up. And then we use those fasting mimic diets I mentioned earlier. They are very powerful for causing mitochondria to multiply. And we used a specific kind of exercise called interval training. Now, Alice couldn't do that to start with. She just started walking, but we progressed her to that. And being a biker, Kary, you'll love this story. Here's two groups. One gets 4 minutes on a bike 4 times a week, with some intense burst in that 4 minutes. The other group bikes 1 hour 4 times a week. And who wins? Group 1, 4 minutes, increased their maximal aerobic power by 15% and their VO2 max by 28%. Tremendous benefits from just 4 minutes 4 times a week. Group 2, no effect on anaerobic capacity and improved their VO2 max by just 10%. So there's some secrets to exercising that can be very helpful. We ramped up Alice's mitochondria tremendously. She said, I have 600% more energy. Her doctor took her off all 8 of her prescriptions, and she felt years younger. In fact, I call Alice a ball of energy now. Is Justin low energy at home and work? Not anymore. He fixed his energy system. In the course, we go over the key nutrients that your mitochondria need to thrive. We give you a simple, easy workout routine, and we try to progress you up the ladder. And we show anyone how they can do interval training. I've got people in their 80s that are doing interval training. The 5th system, and we've only got 3 to go, is your communication system. So you've got 7 systems. They have to be able to talk to each other or we're going to have a mess. And they talk by hormones, nerves, and neurotransmitters. And this is kind of an area where most people don't know what they need to, but it's a very big part in controlling and improving your health, as you'll see in just a minute. Jody comes in to see me with problems with this system: food craving, poor diet, no energy, stressed, obese, and here's a key: she cannot lose weight. Now, when you cannot lose weight, I almost always find a problem with this system, and I'll show you what I mean. Before I do that, let me talk about addiction and neurotransmitters. We're not going to dive into this today, but this is a serious issue. If you look at what cocaine does to the brain and what sugar does to the brain, what do you think you find, Kary?
I watched this training you did and I was blown away. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, they affect the same pathways. They cause the same damage. Long-term addiction rewires the brain in a bad way.
And Pat, I got to stop here because this, folks, this is why I did it. And I'll tell you why. Because I'm a coach, I'm a speaker, I'm a CEO, I'm an entrepreneur. I don't like to feel weak mentally. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like to feel weak. And I had started to feel how, gee, why can't you go 2 hours without food? Why can't you go 3 hours without food? And subconsciously, I was losing self-esteem and saying, what are you, dude? Come on, what's wrong with you? And I'll tell you what, Pat, by breaking that addiction and going through this, I just feel unstoppable. And not in a cocky, arrogant way, but in a way where I no longer wire my day around food. You know, I always had to have the drink, the snack. And I mean, I was eating healthy too. This wasn't like candy bars. I've always eaten healthy. You and I were chatting the other day. If I didn't work out the way that I was eating, you said I would be another 30 pounds heavier than I already was.
That's right.
So folks, again, this was the reason why I wanted to bring you guys on here for me, because it's hypocrisy for me to say I'm a soul on fire and then to be addicted to food. For me, okay, I wanted to go to a new level. I wanted to take my clients to a new level, my authors, my speakers, my coaches. And so I knew that I got to do this to level up myself.
So the bad news is that long-term addiction rewires your brain. Now, here's the good news. I don't care how bad it is, it can be rewired to a good way if you do the right things. We know that sugar and junk food decrease dopamine, or your pleasure receptors in your brain. I want you to hear this. They decrease your pleasure receptors in your brain. When you're addicted to food, you do not enjoy life as much. You don't enjoy anything as much. But that can be reversed. So brain chemistry is a choice. What you put in your mouth is a significant factor in how you feel, your mood. In fact, I've got a study that I just taught my class last week. One day, one meal, and I will make you happier today and tomorrow. Jenny had a serious food addiction. She's obese, diabetic, out of control diabetes. She got on top and conquered her diabetes. And her numbers are just tremendous. In fact, Jenny is now one of my health coaches at my office. Hormones. I'm going to talk about one hormone and then we'll leave this system, and that is insulin. Now, most people have not ever had their insulin tested, but this is an extremely helpful test. It is your fat storage hormone. High levels of insulin predict heart disease, hypertension, stroke, cancer, and diabetes. That's the 5 main killers in America, all connected with having high insulin. In this study that lasted 11 years, they found that low levels of insulin, people didn't have any of the diseases. So you want to prevent those things, keep your insulin down. Jody had high insulin. In fact, hers was 17. It should be less than 5. And if you people watching want to check your insulin, you can just take your hand like this and turn your hand over and squeeze your belly. That will give you an indication of how high your insulin is. That's called the pinch test. The more you can pinch, the higher your insulin usually is. Let me show you how it works. The release of fat from fat cells is inhibited by insulin. So here's a fat cell. You got fat coming in, going out, everything's fine. That's the way it should be. But when insulin hooks onto that fat cell, it blocks the fat from leaving. So the fat cell gets bigger and bigger. You gain more and more weight, and it becomes more angry. So we need to knock the insulin down, and the 7 Systems Plan lowers insulin rapidly so that fat starts taking off out of those cells again. So here's Jody's transformation. Low energy, food craving. In fact, when she came home from teaching school to grade papers, she would doze off. Here she is after completing the plan. 6 months later, 65 pounds off. And you can see the background there. She started kickboxing. She had so much energy. Fixing her systems. Again, it's not just about weight loss. It's about hormones and enzymes and neurotransmitters. Diabetes, gone. You think he's going to enjoy life a little more? Got back on his bike. If you can see her face, it's a little blurry, but absolutely happier, healthier. In the full course with this chapter, we talk about 7 hormones. So we talked about 1 today briefly, but you need 7 that you need to have working for you. We show you how to prevent or eliminate diabetes rapidly. And we show you how to boost your happiness neurotransmitters. Everybody should be striving to get happier. Sixth system, this is your defense system. It protects your body against foreign invaders and hostile elements. And you probably heard of those first three, but the gut lymph tissue is something most people have not heard of. And if you look at my diagram there, Kary, you see which one's the biggest?
Gut.
Yeah, gut lymph tissue. In fact, 70% of your defense system is in your gut, surrounding your digestive tract. So there it is at the point of my arrow there. This system has to be working correctly. If it's under functioning, you're going to get sick a lot. If it over functions, you're going to have allergies, asthma, and autoimmune disease. Now, autoimmune disease is where your body starts attacking itself. And that's what happened to Patty. She contacts me from Atlanta, Georgia. She's been diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. She has it so bad in her feet that she cannot wear shoes. She can't use her computer mouse because of her hand pain. She's afraid she's going to get fired. And she asked her rheumatologist, can I change my lifestyle? Will that help? And you know what he said, Kary?
He probably said no.
He said, no, you have to go on the drugs and you'll be on them the rest of your life. Now, she went and looked at the side effects of these drugs, and she said, I cannot do that. You know, that's something people need to be aware of. 20% of all prescription drugs have 100 or more side effects. And when you start taking multiple drugs and having multiple interactions, you can run into some significant problems. Let's go back to your gut. This is an unhealthy gut. You see those gaps between there? And the red dots running, that's red blood cells running through your bloodstream. Because there's gaps in there, big parts of food and other bad stuff can get into the bloodstream. And there's that gut lymph tissue. It gets turned on. There's something here that should not be. And it starts attacking, sending out those attack messages to attack things that it should not. Autoimmune disease, if it attacks your joints, it's rheumatoid, it can attack your thyroid, your intestinal tract, your muscles, your pancreas. There's over 80 different autoimmune diseases, and most of them have an origin in your gut. So the 7 systems plan heals the gut, closes those junctions to make them tight, no more gaps. Food starts getting digested and absorbed correctly. And that gut lymph tissue calms down and those attack signals get turned off. So Patty, after 6 months, I get an email from her. All signs of rheumatoid are gone. I'm not only wearing shoes, I'm jogging in those shoes. This is a patient or a person who did my online course, never came to my office. I found out a year later he had done it. He said, I did this because I couldn't button my shirt. I had rheumatoid in my hands so bad I could not button my shirt. The next year, he's buttoning his shirt with no problems. His grip strength has increased tremendously, as has his dexterity, and he lost 70 pounds. One of my patients in the office, Marla, had fibromyalgia severely for 20 years, had to use the scooter in Walmart. In 90 days, her pain is gone. 20 years of severe pain gone in 90 days. She continued on another 3 months, 65 pounds off, and has been pain-free for a couple years now. Severe migraines. Now that's got an inflammatory component related to this system. He thought he was going to get fired. He was missing so much work. 10 years of migraines gone in a few months. In the full course, we go through each part of this system, showing you how to make it work for you. When we talk about chronic pain too, there's some significant things you can do to eliminate chronic pain and turn off inflammation. Last system in your body, the detox system. So this system has to clean house when all the other systems are doing their job. It is made of 5 main organs. Each of these needs to be working correctly or you can have problems. And Nancy developed problems with the system. She didn't know it. She just knew that she had brain fog. She had no energy. She couldn't function. She had to quit her job 2 months before coming to see me. Severe pain everywhere. Her specialist had diagnosed Lyme's, RA, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, lots of drugs, no improvement. In fact, at age 60, here's what she said to me. Dr. Pat, I was afraid I was going to end up in a nursing home when I first saw you. Here's part of the problem. We've been checking people's bodies for toxins since 1972. And what did we find? 5 of the most toxic chemicals found are present in 100% of people. Now, this is worse today than it has ever been in our history. And those toxins can cause all kinds of different diseases and issues, including obesity. Little humor. Later that day, Sally taught herself to ride her own bike. Just had to throw that in. Good move, Sally. Here's what I teach my patients. If you have a sick fish in a dirty fish tank, do you medicate the fish or do you clean the tank? Now in America, many doctors medicate the fish rather than cleaning the tank. But I supported each of her 5 major detox organs with an intense 10-day program. And I told her up front, you're going to feel better in 10 days. Now, she did not believe me, but she did what I asked her to. Day 7, I got an email, Dr. Pat, I can walk to the bathroom by myself for the first time in months. Day 10, she is 90% better and returns to work. She continues to fix her systems, losing 25 pounds and feels great again. Now, that's been over 5 years that Nancy has regained her health. Steve had fatty liver disease. And I'll tell you, Kary, 1/3 of the people I test have fatty liver disease and don't know it. All you got to have is an extra 20 pounds and you can have this disease. Now, fatty liver disease will kill your liver. His enzymes are 8 times higher than normal. They think he's going to, at some point, need a transplant. In 6 months, it's back to normal.
Wow. And we're talking about some of these diseases are costing these people thousands and thousands of dollars, whether their insurance company covers it in increased premiums the next year or the medicine that they're having to take. This is why I wanted to bring this to you guys today. And by the way, I've been watching the comments. We're going to give everybody a gift here in a moment. So many good questions. We're going to take a lot of time for Q&A here at the end. We're almost done. Hang with us. We want to make sure you get your gift as well. And then a bunch of you are going to jump in and join us for the next 60 days. We're going to share about that here in a moment. So hang with us.
So in the course, we talk about how to know if you're toxic. There's signs of toxicity, how that toxicity can make you sick or gain weight, and also how to decrease your exposure and to help your body detox. So in wrapping it up, let me just say you are never too old to fix your systems. Don and Millie went through my course at age 81. At age 91, in this picture, who do you think he invited to his birthday party? That was me with him. And Don is still working today. He's 92 or 3, I think, right now. One problem that people have, if you're overweight, very good chance you're going to have to buy some new clothes if you go through this course. And I love having that happen. I love making that happen. There are some tests for your systems. Now, I talk about them in the book and in the course. They are not required because in the course, I give you a survey before each lesson. You're going to answer questions, and it will give you an indication if, hey, this is a system I need to focus on and pay attention to. You can rank yourself on each of your systems and know where you should start focusing. But I hope I've conveyed this in the last 30 minutes. Each of your systems is extremely important. They all need to be functioning correctly. And there's a simple, proven way to do that. And I want everyone to just plug in the things you've learned and fix each of these systems. There are other plans out there. They're similar, but they don't fix problems like we do, address these 7 systems, or have amazing results. I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of stories. Some of these plans are extremely expensive. And people that go through my online course, they get the same information that I teach in my office every week. So this is one of my weekly meetings with my patients. I take this class, record it, and then I put it into our online course. My course is updated every single week, so it's always cutting edge information. With the course, you get my maximizing toolbox. I want people to have access to every single tool I have to be successful. So I put everything in there that is helpful for people in my office, and I make it real simple. There's a little survey or quiz after you've completed a lesson to see if you got the main concepts. We give you guides and all kinds of stuff along that line. There's 9 bonus lessons. Now, these bonus lessons are really, really good. They're my funnest lessons I teach. And one of them is the food addiction lecture that people can get access to today. We talk about fasting and fasting mimic diets, assembling your success team. It's very hard to do this alone, but if you have a team you've assembled, you can do this in 20 minutes, by the way. It makes your success rate go up tremendously. And one of the last lessons in this group is one on finding what works for you. And I give people lots of options, because what works for you, Kary, might not work for me. But there's so many options. We're going to find one that works for you to get you your health goals and keep you there. And last, we've got a private Facebook group.
Yep.
People that purchase my course can jump on there. They've got a question for me or one of my graduates. You know what? Just a couple of days ago, someone posted a question.
I saw that.
I just
ancient grains.
Yes.
In quinoa. Yes, I saw that.
So I just kind of sat back and saw what the tribe answered, and they nailed it. They listed all the things that should be considered with that. And if there's something that I think they miss, I'll jump in there. But we got a great community for support and encouragement and things that are helpful. Our course is normally $497. It is one of the most affordable plans out there for the information that we give. And Kary has got a great deal for people that are on this webinar. It is 20% off, $397. And you get access to all of those tools that we talked about earlier. And if you want to think about it, here's what I tell people in my office when they come to see me. You want to think about doing this for 90 days. I'm going to show you what happens. This is what happens. Nothing. I want to encourage people to take action. Things happen when you take action. Kary, you're a big promoter of that.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin came to my office. This is the last case, and he's an obese high school student. He's in high school with my son, and my son wants to help him out. My son's fit, so he comes and he joins this plan, and the next year he's running cross country with my son. Amazing health transformation. And I'm seeing more and more kids using this information to regain their health. That is the 7 systems plan in a brief summary. And I just, again, love seeing these stories created, and I want to see more and more. And I appreciate this opportunity to kind of present things with Kary here.
Oh, yeah.
And take my message to more and more people around the world that need to have a health transformation.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity, Kary.
Well, listen, I want to say a few very important things here, guys, including the bonus we want to give all of you just for being here. But hang with me, because there was a lot of questions. So we're going to get to that here in just a moment. Let me share my screen. People are asking about payment plans, all these. We got so many good things here. Hang with me. So can you see my screen, everybody? Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay. I see people in the chat box saying yes. Awesome. Everybody for being here is going to get for free a private teaching that will blow your mind on food addiction. And again, folks, this was the wake up call to me. I honestly did not think I was addicted. I had no clue. I just thought, you know what? I'm eating healthy. I'm just eating all the time and I can't stop. And so this is going to be a fantastic teaching for you. It's private. We're going to send everybody a link who's on right now. 24 hours from now, you're going to get a private link with this special teaching. So Dr. Pat, thanks for filming that for us. Today's training, folks, is the tip of the iceberg. Like, he literally went through this as fast as he could. Some of you even had to jump off. But the reason why I brought Dr. Pat on here today was not just to say, oh, make us aware of our problems. That would be actually cruel and unusual punishment for us to do that, to say, hey, let's just tell everybody why their 7 systems doesn't work. We showed you some things today that are very powerful, but the answer, folks, is the course. Now, some people said, what about the book versus the course? Here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm just going to be super honest. I hope I'm not offending anybody, but I may. All right. So here's what I'm going to say. Last year, Dr. Pat came to our conference like all authors in our program, Author Academy Elite. And if you want to learn more about becoming one of our authors, it's karyoberbrunner.com/book. Erica can drop that link in there now. You can even talk with one of our teammates later today. But Dr. Pat came, everybody liked it. 69 people bought his book. And you know what? Very few read it. I'm just telling you that you don't know this, Dr. Pat. I'm telling you this because they emailed me this week and they said, you know, I'm looking at that book and it's on my shelf and I know I should read it. Now, other people did read it. Some of the 69 read it and we see their life is different. But a lot of people bought the book and said, that's my commitment to health, to buy a book. Here's what's going to be different with the course. Number one, 100% satisfaction guarantee. Like, if you tell us a little bit more about that. Mark says, sorry, I read it and I didn't act. That's okay. Now's the time. Forget the past. Now's the time. Because Mark, I heard about this for years. I've known Dr. Pat for years. I was his publisher. And I didn't even say, well, I need to read this book for me because I didn't think I had a problem. I didn't think I had a problem. Yeah, tell us about that.
Here's the way I think of it, Kary. If you're in school and you go and you buy the Spanish book on how to learn Spanish, you never go to class. What's your likelihood of learning Spanish?
Not much, but I'll tell you what, if you're single and you get a Spanish girlfriend, you're going to learn Spanish really quick.
All right, so the book is a great resource. It's got some good information. And I have people that transform their lives with just my book, but the course kind of brings it to life. And I give a ton of additional information in my course that is not in my book.
Yeah.
They go together very well.
Absolutely. Jim, by the way, said I read it and started the course. I lost 22 pounds since January. Here's what's going to happen today, folks. And I'm putting some skin in this game. And I love what Christina said. Our son is learning Spanish because he has a Spanish girlfriend. See, there you go. I told you this. The differences between events and processes. Folks, you came here today. Dr. Pat, you came to an event and maybe you were motivated. You made it a calendar issue. He challenged you. He encouraged you to make a decision. The difference is, what are you going to do after this webinar is over? Hey, honey, I had a great webinar today. I jumped on. Hey, folks, you know, now I know about the 7 systems. What changed everything for me? Why I could start winning on the bicycle, why I could start sleeping better, why I could feel more confident. And I just had 2 big events, Dr. Pat. I spoke at the Shawshank 25th reunion and I spoke with Gary V and Damon John from Shark Tank. I had 2 big events and I knew I wanted to bring it. And I knew, like, hey man, I don't want to be thinking about my gut and how I need food and how I can't even stand up here for 3 hours without without food. So here's what it did for me. And I want to put some skin in the game, folks. Processes encourage development. It's a maturity issue. It's a culture issue, and it changes people. And that's what we want. I did not want to bring Dr. Pat on today and say, hey, just tell us, and everybody can walk away and look in the mirror and nothing change. We're going to do Q&A in a moment. I want people right now who already know this is for them. You've been waiting. Butch is in Hong Kong. It's after 2 a.m. This dude is committed. Thank you, Butch. KaryOberbrunner.com/health. You literally have no risk. So not only did Dr. Pat take off 20% just for this group here today, not only is it going to be lifetime 100% satisfaction guarantee, okay? Not only is it going to be, it's 100% satisfaction guarantee, okay? We'll show you everything here in a moment. There is a replay, but here's what we're going to throw on. My most important thing in my life is time, okay? And it's a little bit more than $1 a day for a year. You guys spend $400 on all kinds of stuff. Spend it on you, okay? So here's what Dr. Pat and I are going to be doing. Go to KaryOberbrunner.com/health. Many people are asking for it right now. KaryOberbrunner.com/health. By the way, people said, am I a vegan? I'm not a vegan. That might offend some people. I eat nice. I eat well. By the way, I love fish. But the fast action bonus, Dr. Pat and I are going to do out of our own time, a live fast tracker for you. So this is only for people who buy now. If people watch the replay tonight, hundreds of people are going to get the replay. They're going to miss out on this fast action bonus. We want to reward the people who are saying right now, I'm in, no brainer. I'm worth it. My body's worth it. My future's worth it. My retirement's worth it. You're going to end up saving money. Okay. I went to Trader Joe's. I used to spend so much money at Trader Joe's because I was always hungry. And within 60 days, I actually saved what the course is worth just in food costs. But hang on with me. We're going to do some questions here in a moment. But this is just for people who buy now. And if you do buy now, just type in your name and say, I bought now. Okay. Because I want to just read your name because you're cool. All right. But here's the point. This is legit. Okay. September 9th, every Monday for the next bunch of weeks. In fact, September 9th to November 4th. This shows you how committed we are. Okay. Every Monday inside our Igniting Souls tribe. So you're going to get lifetime access to our private tribe, our private Facebook group where I show up every day. I'm going to go through this with you. Every Monday from now until November, what did I say? 4th, we're going to do a challenge. So everybody, Julie says it's not showing up the 20% discount. Go to KaryOberbrunner.com/health. It should, Julie. Let me know. Okay. Awesome. Chris just bought it. So Chris, did it work for you? The 20% off? I'm sure it did, my friend, but let me know, Chris. Yep. He said it worked for him. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to spend some time for Q&A. We're going to answer everybody's question. We're going to ask questions about Parkinson's disease. People ask that. People ask questions about menopause. People ask questions about diabetes. Dr. Pat, can you stay on a little bit?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to answer all these questions. But here's the commitment. You buy now, you're going to get the fast action bonus. This is live on the next week. Dr. Pat and I are going to come on. We're going to start fast tracking with you right away. You get lifetime access to the Igniting Souls tribe. Mark, 1 is fine. To answer your question, 1 is fine. So Mark, I got your private question. 1 is fine. Anita says, did I miss the discount code? You should literally be able to go to KaryOberbrunner.com/health and it should be $397. If it's not, let me know and we'll fix it. Okay. But for the next 60 days, I'm going to be in there every Monday. I'm going to be going through this with you guys. This is not, hey, Kary's going to go sit on a beach and chill out. This is, I am with you. Imagine what people are going to do, Dr. Pat. November 4th is like starting to get into the holidays. That's when you start seeing the family members. Imagine to have a whole tribe around you that they're encouraging you, and you're going to walk into your holiday and people are going to say, who are you? Who are you? You look healthy. Butch bought it from Hong Kong at 2 a.m. What's your excuse, right? Good job, Butch. But here's why I'm passionate about this. This is me in 2011. Okay? This is me in 2011. I'm not going to say how much I weigh because I don't want you to think about the weight. I just want you to look at my face, look at, okay? Here's me on stage speaking probably 75 days ago, okay? 75 days ago, here's me on stage. And I'm not even aware. I'm not even aware that I can't stop eating. I'm not even aware that I got 25 pounds of fat that's starting to kill my organs, all right? Here's me. Here's me, August. Here's me at Shawshank. I don't know. I think it was August 18th. Okay. This is the point, folks. Like, Kary, your face looks so much healthier. Thank you. Listen, I'm pumped. I'm amped. I have more commitment, passion, energy, excitement. And I already was a soul on fire. But once God kind of woke me up and said, dude, you got an addiction. I was not happy, but Pat, you helped me. That's the difference between the book and the course too. Folks, if somebody just said, I don't even have enough money for my housing, fine. Betty, you get the book, okay? I understand. You got to start somewhere today. If you can afford the program, and we have a payment option that we even created, I believe. But Valerie just signed up. Anita just signed up. Christina just signed up. Laura just signed up. Folks, join this group. You literally have nothing to lose. I trust Pat. I know his faith. I know his family. If you try it and you quit on yourself or it doesn't work for you, 100% satisfaction guaranteed. But we're gonna help you. Okay. Nikki says, can I gift one? Absolutely, Nikki. You can gift one to somebody. No problem. Sarah says for some reason it says $497 and not $397. I'm going to go to the website right now because, again, it is listed at $497 if you're not part of our group. But Dr. Pat was so generous, and I said, man, you got to make this as cheap as you can go, my friend. And let me get to I'm going to go to KaryOberbrunner.com/HEALTH. All right. Let's see. I'm hoping it says $397. A lot of people are saying they bought it. You have to scroll down and hit your link. Otherwise, it doesn't grab the deal, Julie said. So scroll down, because maybe it costs more somewhere else, but scroll down all the way. And I don't know, she'll change those other ones, but click it and there it is, $397. Boom. So it is $397, folks. You have to scroll down and hit your link. Awesome. Jenna's in. Jenna, fantastic. Oh, somebody's having trouble with the payment plan. So, Julie, help us out, my friend. Pop in a link, Julie. You can Facebook message me. Oh, here it is. Here's the payment plan. Two payments of $217. Okay, so you can do $217, and you can spread it out. Okay. Pat, let me go back to my screen because I don't even know what I have, but we're gonna do Q&A here in just a moment. So guys, start putting in your questions. Dr. Pat's gonna answer them. And okay, Mark's ecstatic, he says. So let's answer the menopause question just because that came up. I don't even know what the menopause question is. I'm a guy, I don't have it, but talk to us, Dr. Pat. What do you think? I don't even know what the lady asked. So go ahead, restate your question, folks. Karen's in, all kinds of people are in. If you need to put it on a credit card, go for it, folks. It's worth it. Okay. It is absolutely worth it. We got Parkinson's question. What do you got?
Okay, so Parkinson's, I don't know the specific questions, but there is a significant connection between Parkinson's disease and toxicity. And you'll find a lot of these people that do develop Parkinson's had some kind of exposure to some significant toxins. You know, maybe they're a painter or they're around fumes or things. Not always, but that's sometimes the case. So we absolutely need to detoxify the body. And I don't make any claims to cure diseases. I just want to get your systems fixed, and frequently problems improve or completely correct. Menopause, that's a hormone problem. We're going to want to focus on what you learn in chapter 5 in the course. We go over all those hormones. I do talk about options for helping get your hormones working correctly, and that can be a significant issue for women as they go through that transition. There are things that can be done that are tremendously helpful.
Fantastic. Julie's saying that drpatluse.com is $4.97. The only place they can get 20% off is karyoberbrunner.com/health. Folks, grab it now because you get that fast bonus, okay? Here's another question. How does it work if you are on blood thinners for life? How do you deal with chest pains and shortness of breath?
Well, the blood thinners are probably not causing the chest pain and shortness of breath. That probably has to do with the health of your delivery system, which we talked about earlier. And I showed you before and after pictures. In weeks, you can begin to improve the function of that system. In months, you can change even larger vessels in your body. So don't think that arterial disease and heart disease cannot be reversed. I've got a tremendous lecture on that, and I show some amazing things in the course. Your body can do really, really unbelievable things if you just give it what it needs.
Awesome. Johnny's in, or Joni, awesome. Denise is in, fantastic. Okay, Stacy Green says I asked an asthma question earlier. Folks, just restate your question. We'll absolutely get it for you. Okay. Don't worry if you bought the $4.97. Julie, if you bought for $4.97, we'll refund you $100 because we believe in you. We care about you. Okay. What about if someone had part of their pancreas surgically removed and has a roller coaster blood sugar level? Can I fast?
Yeah, you're going to have to talk with your doctor about that. If the fasting mimic diets are generally okay for everyone, but if you have any concerns, talk to your doctor. Prolonged fasting, as in going a day or two, that might be more of an issue here. But again, if you get your systems working better, you will be amazed at the things you can do that you didn't used to be. You don't want those high and low blood sugar swings. There's some significant things you can do to control that.
Hey, listen, I got somebody who I went to college with. Thanks, Summer. Summer asks, thanks for sharing your story, old friend. How can this help ovarian cysts? I'm guessing this is a hormone problem.
It is. So that might be PCOS, what she's referring to. PCOS is highly connected with high levels of insulin. So we've already had some tests, some teaching on that today. I would definitely have a fasting insulin test if you have that problem. See what your insulin is, and then you need to get it corrected if it's not in the normal range.
Fantastic. Lucianne, oh yeah, Lucianne, ask your other question too. But okay, Lucianne asked a couple questions. Should blood work be done prior to starting this program? People are all over the world, Pat. I didn't have blood work done prior. What do you think?
Yeah, you sure do not have to. I've got, again, people all over the country that don't have tests done. Now, if you have some significant issues, it wouldn't hurt. And I will lay out in each section we go through the most helpful tests that you can have done. So 2 tests that I encourage everybody to have done: insulin, fasting, and vitamin D.
Vitamin D, yeah.
Those two are really helpful.
And that was that cancer, the vitamin D. Yeah.
You want to
Okay,
get
folks.
your vitamin D to a safe level.
Yeah. So keep posting your questions, folks. Mark asked a question about, can a husband and wife eat the same meals if one of them had like diabetes 2 or something? I think that was your question, Mark. Go ahead. Keep posting your questions, folks. They only scroll and then I can't see them anymore.
So should the husband and wife eat the same meal? Yes, they should be following the 7 systems plan. I don't care what your health problems are. They will improve if you follow the plan. So frequently I'll have a wife start the plan, and pretty soon her husband's eating better and the kids are eating better, and then they're all getting healthy. That's what I love.
Yeah.
It may not all happen instantly, but everybody needs to be moving in the direction that you move, Kary.
Okay, I found how to see the questions. Kay says, I'm 70, and am I too old for this? I already know the answer to that. The answer is no, because
Well,
you had Don and Millie.
Here's the question, and here's a study that I quote in my course. In a study of 70 to 90-year-olds, people who began doing this lived an extra 10 years.
Wow.
And postponed their first big event for a significant period of time. So
fantastic.
No, it's not too late.
Okay. Great, man. These questions, I'm glad I'm not a doctor because these questions are hard. Does your diet include eating raw vegetables? I can't eat raw veggies or fresh fruit. So you have all kinds of options, correct?
We will give you lots of options. And if you can't eat raw, and some people can't, then we give you other options. That is not a problem at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then I'm eating only healthy food, but I am underweight. So what about someone who's underweight? I know this woman, she's fantastic. What do you got?
Well, so you don't have the structural system problem to deal with. I don't know what the other systems are like. The weight is a biggie, so you gotta conquer that. But you gotta have all 7 of the systems working correctly. The digestive system, your delivery system. So yeah, I've got a number of people going through my course in my office. They don't need to lose an ounce. Some of them need to gain weight. They want to gain some muscle. Well, we're going to tell you how and show you how to gain muscle.
Yeah, it's like that one woman who was flexing, man. She had some serious muscle. Yeah. Okay, some people have to roll. That's okay. A lot of people are still on. Tell me if you've bought. A lot of people have bought. Here's what you're going to do when you buy. When you buy, you're going to get immediately logins to the program. You're going to get added to Pat's private community online where he's in there every day and his community's in there and they're going through this together. Not only that, but I said to David, man, we got to get these people in our community. So you're going to be part of the Ignited Souls tribe. And we are doing every Monday as Mission Monday. And we're going to be holding each other accountable, which is fantastic. You're going to get those 3 bonuses that we talked about, 100% satisfaction guarantee. Folks, I'm telling you, the amount of money I saved in extra food, all right, the confidence that I have, the energy. I mean, that's another thing, Dr. Pat. Imagine the energy that these people are going to have. That's priceless. They're going to earn back $400 in productivity. That's what I'm saying. This course is actually free because it pays for itself. It pays for itself. And if it doesn't, 100% satisfaction guarantee. Penny says, thank you for giving us so much. We got tons of thank yous. Kary bought it. Deidre bought it. Jamie bought it. Kay bought it. Anita got her log-on. I love what Anita says. See you on the healthy side. I love that. I used my husband's credit card. I hope he forgives me. Giggle. I'll tell you what, Josie. I won't say her last name because I don't even know it. I think your husband will thank you because when we take care of ourselves, I'm just saying, I've been better for my clients. I've been better for my kids. You know what, Dr. Pat, I want to talk about this because I'm being so transparent today, man. But you know how they talk about being hangry, where you're hungry and angry? You know what I'm
Yes,
talking about?
yes,
I used to feel like that. And here's why I ate. I ate, even though I didn't know this, I ate because of stress. Because man, we got 1,000 authors and we got events and we got things all over the world. I didn't feel stressed, but I read that in one of your programs that, or one of the modules, that food addiction is we do it because of stress sometimes.
that's right. We give you, we go through all the different reasons that you may eat that are not healthy reasons and give you solutions for that.
Yeah. Josie says, I'm not sure it went through correctly after I hit finish, the page disappeared. We got a whole end team that we're helping you out. How long will the discount be available? The discount is available till Sunday night. However, you need to get it now to get the fast action bonus. So if you're going to buy it anyway, do everything you can to buy it now because you're going to get that fast action bonus. Why? Because we know that the action takers, man, they're in it, and we want to support them right away. Soma, post your question again. I'm going to start just going through the questions. Valerie's in. Daniel, can a friend of mine in Mexico watch the rebroadcast? Absolutely. There is a replay page. We're going to send you, folks. We are going to send this to you in about 6 hours, and you will have this at least until Sunday. So if you want to share this with your family, your friends, and you say, hey, here's some hope for you guys. Like, the reason why we did this today is because, again, for me, when that guy couldn't get out of his car, Dr. Pat, I felt bad. I wanted to go encourage him. I wanted to like say, hey man, you know, are you okay? I didn't want to embarrass him though. And, just the other day I was on a flight and this lady next to me, I'm just sharing the truth, folks. She had to raise her hand and ask the stewardess for another belt. And she felt embarrassed. And I felt bad for her, not because I was even looking or cared, but because I could see it in her face. And I,
I
you
know
know what I'm talking
exactly how
about?
you, I know exactly how you feel, Kary. When there's some things that are not that difficult that can make these amazing transformations, I feel torn when I see that, and when I get the opportunity, I have a conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I mean, they might be happy, but someone honestly posted before and they said, how can you be happy? How can you really be happy if you can't even get out of your car? And that's a good question. Stacy Green says, how do you test a person to see if they have asthma? Treadmill test, question mark. People tell me that I wheeze when I publicly speak, but I deny it because I am a competitive athlete. But I now see it in my videos. Interesting.
Yes, there could be some allergy problems, or it could be asthma. You should see your doctor about that. There's some things that he can check that will give a good indication.
Yeah.
Now, there are things regarding to asthma and all these things. We touched on it very briefly, but your level of omega-6 in your body, that's the inflammatory fat, to your level of omega-3 can have a tremendous effect on not just allergies and asthma, but all kinds of other things. So I don't want to diagnose or tell you what to do treatment wise, but you should
Yeah.
see your doctor for some follow up.
And we'll make that disclaimer, folks. Even on the sales page, we say, listen, if you feel like you need to talk to your doctor, you buy it today and you need to talk to your doctor, go ahead and do that. Like, Pat's a doctor. I have a doctor in leadership, but not in health. So we are saying that do your due diligence. However, Look at all those pictures. You can't, I love before and after pictures, Pat. I always have. Um, Dominique says, I came out of a wheelchair after being diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis and recovered from fatty liver disease, but I can't lose the last 20 kilograms. So I'm signing up because I don't want to go backwards. Dominique, awesome.
Good job.
What time on Monday do we tune into the program? Here's the thing, Kate, you're going to get access immediately. But on Monday, we're going to do a Mission Monday and we're going to start holding each other accountable. So and listen, Pat, man, I'm just sharing everything today. Part of me was nervous to go public with my food addiction. You know why? Because now I'm accountable. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real, folks. I'm just being real. And I knew that when I tell the tribe and the list and my friends and my fans and my followers and my colleagues and the people who are kind enough to read what I write, there's going to be some accountability. But you know what? I'm doing it because I'm like, Kary, that's pride getting in the way, man. If you think that your ego is that important. So that's why we're doing this, folks. Josie got confirmation. Sarah says accountability is scary. Nikki says it's awesome. Mark says, I'm proud of you, Kary. This is another reason I'm thankful in life. Folks, you guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. Soma Ray asks a question. I found out last year that my abdomen, you know what I'm saying, is full of scar tissue from a cancer surgery. Ouch. My doctor said it's so bad, even some of the organs were out of place. How does this affect my systems? I have not had the scar tissue removed. Could that affect anything?
Yeah, it sure possibly can, depending upon where it is. And scar tissue is definitely more pain sensitive and can cause more problems. So I don't know what other things are going on to give you advice on that.
Okay. Okay, fantastic. We got a few more questions. And folks, if I didn't get your question, pop it in. Here's my challenge to you today. People buy based on certainty. Okay? That's why we buy something. We buy something when we go from a want or a desire to a need to a problem. Dr. Pat, I didn't think I had a problem until I couldn't stop eating for more than 2 or 3 hours. And once I kind of woke up to that, because people say, oh, you're thin. In certain clothes I looked thin, but I felt frustrated. I was being dropped on the bike ride every Saturday. I felt weak mentally because I realized I couldn't do this. And all the benefits, folks, sleeping better, eating better, saving money on groceries, confidence to me is huge. I mean, you can't buy confidence. So, and it's 100% satisfaction guaranteed. All right. So folks, I think we're going to roll unless anybody has a burning question. Again, if somebody needs the replay, share it with them. It's up till Sunday. Dr. Pat, thanks for giving the tribe that 20% off. That's fantastic. He's put his, reputation on the line to say, hey, 100% satisfaction. I love it, folks. Take care, everybody. Thanks for being here, Dr. Pat. And somebody says I'm having some problems with the payments page, but I hope someone will get back to me. Tell me Julie's email. Do you mind telling me Julie's email? He's gonna get a support email, and he's gonna do that. And here's why, because we want you to be able to get the fast action bonus. Okay. Kate says, I'm gonna see you at conference, 20 pounds lighter. I believe it. Sue Arnold said, I bought 2, one for my daughter. How do I get it to her? Our whole team, Pat's whole team, we are going to take care of you guys for the rest of the day and up until Sunday. and after you buy the program. So my point is this: we got you. If you bought it at $497, you're going to get a $100 refund. Okay. But go to karyoberbrunner.com/health. That's the easiest thing. Okay. Um, if you are here, I'm just going to go integrity on you guys. Okay. So Julie is Julie Luse, Julie. Oh, here, I'm going to post it for you guys. If you're having problems with your payment or anything like that, julieluce@yahoo.com. Pat, if they get the course, I've seen it. I've gone through it. It's fantastic. It's more than the book. In other words, you can go through the course and be massively successful because you're going to get so much. You don't need to also buy the book.
The book is a helpful resource, so I encourage people to have the book and the course.
Fantastic.
And here's what I've seen. My people that go through the course are the most educated people on health anywhere.
That's true.
You get everything from A to Z. You understand how things work and how they work together and problems that can occur. So it's very comprehensive.
It is. It is. I have learned so much. And now when your eyes are open, you walk around and you just see life differently. Somebody says, can my husband or wife use the program? Here's what I'm going to do, folks. I'm going to say, Pat, I don't know. I'm going to answer the question for you. I don't know if this is illegal, but here's what I'm going to say. If the person is your spouse, what do you think, Pat?
Yeah, I think that'd be fine.
Okay. If the person is your spouse, but here's why I think you want every other person to buy, because they are getting access to Pat's private Facebook group. They're getting access to the tribe. This isn't just, hey, we got a course. The course is fantastic, but you're getting the accountability. You're getting the daily touch-ins from Dr. Pat and I. We're going to do some bonus training on Friday, tomorrow. What time is that, Dr. Pat? We're going to go live on Facebook tomorrow and answer more questions. I don't even know. Like, I won't tell you the time yet, but it's Eastern. It's in the morning, and we're going to do a little Facebook. And you guys can tag people on that. Bring them in, man. Pat wants to change the world. I want souls on fire. What time is it?
I think it's 9:30 Eastern.
9:30 Eastern? Okay, hang on with me, folks. Yeah, so tomorrow, Dr. Pat and I are going live 9:30 a.m. Eastern. So we're going to go live then. We're also going to do a private fireside chat with any of you guys who are signed up. Or if you're still interested, Friday night, we're going to go video. And you guys can see us. We can see you if you want. We are committed to this. We want you to be healthy. We want you to experience life change. Thanks, everybody. You're amazing. You're fantastic. Take care. And the Monday thing, Sue, you're going to get access to our private Facebook group. And that's called the Igniting Souls Tribe. And we're going to be in there keeping each other accountable for the next 8 Mondays. And you are going to see tremendous life change. Take care, everybody. Thanks, Dr. Pat.
Thank you.
See ya.